Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rakan Kayali. Welcome to Practical Islamic Finance. In this episode, we'll examine the insurance product known as Takaful. Takaful is a relatively new insurance product that is marketed as an Islamic alternative to conventional insurance and is referred to often as Islamic insurance. Let's start our examination of Takaful with an explanation of how it works.
Basically speaking, Islamic insurance, when it was first introduced about 30 or so years ago, the scholars gathered and they gave the verdict that this type, as portrayed to them, is permissible. And what is that type? It is like a group of people joining forces. Let's say 1,000 person agree on allocating a wallet, a pot, where they contribute 1,000 riyals for a year. So 1,000 multiplied by 1,000, this is 1,000,000 riyals in this pot. And they agree that anyone who has a car accident or his house is burnt or he has to pay something for an accident that took place, they will compensate that person and they would consider that this money allocated, the 1,000,000 riyals now, is for charity. It's in the sense of helping one another, only for the 1,000 people. And that is it. So people would have a car accident, or the house would be burnt, or a burglar breaks in, and they give this 50,000, 10,000, 1,000, depending on their need. Once the money is finished, they've spent the whole million. Even if it was in the first or second week, if someone comes in and says, listen, someone crashed into my car and I need 5,000 riyals to fix it. And we say, tough luck, we don't have anything in the pot or in the wallet. He said, yes, but I gave you 1,000 riyals. Listen, you contributed. You did not do this as a form of commercial insurance where we have to pay you. The money is over. If this is the case, then this is halal insurance.
Based on what was just described, it's fair to say that from the customer's point of view, Takaful is an inferior insurance product when compared to conventional insurance. This is because when you purchase conventional insurance, the amount of coverage you're entitled to isn't left to chance. However, with Takaful insurance, the coverage the customer ultimately receives depends on what is left in the Takaful fund when they make their claim. Now, we know that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, prohibited transactions where the object of sale is not adequately defined. This is known in Arabic as al-gharar. As an example, the Prophet, peace be upon him, forbade the sale of fish in the sea. This is because key attributes of the object of sale, which is the fish, are unknown before they are caught, such as the weight of the fish, the type of the fish, and how many fish there are. This same ambiguity regarding what is being bought is present in Takaful. When someone purchases Takaful insurance, the amount and period of protection they're buying isn't known at the time of purchase because it depends on what other people have already claimed from the Takaful fund before the customer makes their claim. So it's clear that Takaful involves major ambiguity surrounding key attributes of the object of sale, which the Prophet, peace be upon him, prohibited. This prohibition, by the way, is unaffected by the consent of the buyer. Just like gambling and interest, even if the buyer is content with the arrangement, it is still prohibited in Islam. Further, the gharar in Takaful not only opens the door for dispute between customers and the Takaful company, but also opens the door for disputes between Takaful customers amongst themselves. Let's say Adam and Kareem are making the same contributions to a Takaful fund, meant to cover damages from car accidents. Both Adam and Kareem get in an accident. Adam files his claim one day before Kareem does. When Adam files his claim, there is money left in the Takaful fund to cover his damages, and he gets a check. When Kareem files his claim, there is nothing left in the Takaful fund, and he is either given nothing or given a loan, as some Takaful operators do. How is this going to make Kareem feel about Adam, who took the last of the money in the fund and didn't do any more than he did to deserve that money? It seems to me that this would create a feeling of enmity and ill will between Karim and Adam and between Karim and the Takaful operator. This is directly opposed to what is known as maqasid al-sharia, or the purposes of the teachings of the Islamic faith, one of which is to create communal bonds between people and not foster ill will or enmity between them. Now, the Shaykh who we just heard justified this gharar by saying that customers were making contributions, not purchasing a service. And it turns out that most endorsers of the Takaful arrangement know that it involves gharar, but justify it using similar logic.
The notion that the risk premium is paid by tabarru, a charitable donation, which forgives the uncertainty, the gharar, which exists in Takaful, but the ability to turn the risk premium as tabarru allows the forgiveness of the uncertainty.
I'm sorry, but payments made by Takaful customers are not donations, even if customers agree to call them that. A true donation is by definition something given with no expectation of return. If I make a donation to my mosque, for example, this doesn't entitle me to make a claim against any assets of the mosque. Additionally, the money I donate to the mosque is not strictly used in service of other people who have made donations. But when Takaful customers make their payments, they are purchasing the right to make claims against the money in the Takaful fund. Further, the Takaful fund only covers those who contribute to it. So it can't be a charity, nor can the payments made into the fund be considered donations. Again, even if the customers agree to call it that. If I agree to buy a lottery ticket, and let's say I do it in the spirit of brotherhood and consider my purchase a charitable contribution, because I know that the proceeds of the lottery are going to help schools in my district. This does not make my activity not gambling and permissible in Islam. Gambling is prohibited in Islam regardless of the spirit with which you engage in your gambling. The same is true with al-gharar. And I am inclined to believe that Takaful companies know that their customers don't consider their payments to be donations, on account that when they advertise Takaful, they advertise the benefits that it offers customers. They don't talk about the virtue of charity or the rewards that whosoever gives to charity will reap in the afterlife. You cannot advertise Takaful as a good insurance product and then when customers purchase your product, call their payments a donation. You are not soliciting donations when you were advertising your product. So you should not call your customers' payments donations when they make them. I mean, let's call a spade here. In conclusion, I find that the arrangement known as Takaful, wherein a Takaful operator manages money collected from customers seeking insurance and does not commit to insuring those customers in return for their contributions to the Takaful fund, is an arrangement which involves major ambiguity regarding the object of sale, which qualifies it as al-gharar, and is an arrangement which is at least highly discouraged in Islam, if not outright prohibited and haram. I can also say with certainty that conventional insurance adheres more closely to the principles of Sharia than Takaful does. Because the object of sale in conventional insurance, which is an amount of protection, is clearly defined, whereas it is left to chance in Takaful. Simply put, Takaful is definitely not Islamic insurance, and it should never be called as such. So for customers, I would say stay away from Takaful. For Takaful operators, I would say if you're truly trying to do something Islamic, then it's much more Islamic for you to offer conventional insurance and commit to only investing your customers' premiums in Sharia-compliant products. So that was our episode. Thank you for watching Practical Islamic Finance. I hope you found it beneficial. Please share, comment, and subscribe. We could really I use your support. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum and peace be upon you all.